Here at 11, we are taking a live look over downtown Louisville, where the temperatures are continuing to drop and some rain just came through our area not too long ago. Thanks for joining us here on the night team. I'm Alex Dieterer. We're joined by meteorologist Austin Evans. And Austin, just a couple hours ago, it was still in the 70s here on our Sunday evening, and the temperatures are dropping as we speak right now.
Very quickly, and that camera that was just showed, that Jeffersonville camera, when the leading edge moved in, you couldn't see downtown Louisville, even with all the lights on. Now, we are still tracking that line of thunderstorms moving through, all of it sub-severe. Thankfully, now moving into Taylor County, portions of Marion County. We can actually zoom in to this area. This line is still pretty stout, though. Still got a lot of strong wind associated with it. And, of course, very heavy rain just for a brief period of time as it continues to move through. Now, we're under wind advisory, every single one of us, until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's Eastern time. And we set a new record high for today, a high of 75 at the airport. This is for Louisville, by the way. The old record was 70 degrees. Set in 2021. We kind of blew that out of the water. We were still in the 70s here in Louisville when we were doing severe coverage earlier. We are not anymore. 55 degrees at the airport right now, though it is still near 70 in Campbellsville, Lebanon, Springfield, though it's 42 in Bedford, Indiana, 43 in Jasper. So that temperature is dropping very, very quickly, and you can see how it is going to continue dropping into your Monday morning. It's going to be windy as well, so once we start to hit the 30s, that's when the wind chill is going to really take over, and it's going to start feeling really, really cold out there. And it's been a busy day in general in Kentucky. We had an earthquake earlier near Lancaster, Kentucky, and Alex, I know you got more information on that.
Thanks, Austin. Well, a 3.1 magnitude earthquake was confirmed in Garrett County, Kentucky today. Garrett County EMA said this happened right around 1 this afternoon. And as of earlier today, there are no confirmed injuries or damaged property that was confirmed to be caused by the earthquake. EMA says the earthquakes of this size are relatively common in areas near fault lines, and they don't usually cause some major destruction. The chances of another earthquake occurring the same day or even soon after are very low, and aftershock is not likely in this specific instance. A teenager died in the hospital following a shooting in the Parkland neighborhood early this morning. LMPD says a 15-year-old boy with a gunshot wound arrived at Norton Healthcare West by private means just before 6 this morning, and then he later died at the hospital. According to police, early information shows the shooting happened in the Parkland neighborhood off West Kentucky Street, not far from Brandeis Elementary School. Right now, there are no known suspects, and the investigation is ongoing. Another man is dead following a shooting Saturday night in the Park Hill neighborhood. LMPD responded to a shooting near the intersection of Ormsby Avenue and Dixie Highway around 9:30 last night. Once they were there, officers found Anthony Dwayne Beals in a parking lot, and he had been shot multiple times. Beals was taken to University Hospital, where he later died. If you or anyone you know has any information about these two shootings, LMPD is asking you to call their anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD.
Hopefully things are back on tomorrow, but you obviously want to plan for long term in a situation like this, considering the weather.
Before the cold night, residents at the Louisville Metro Housing Authority building were told to evacuate because of an electrical fire. In an update tonight, we're told all of St. Catherine Court have places to stay tonight. LMHA says the fire happened last night and no one was injured. But right now, full power can't be restored to the building, causing residents to relocate. WHAS11 night teams Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Connie Offit report on where tenants will stay as their building is fixed.
It's gonna be a bad weather.
Temperatures are expected to drop in Louisville.
I was trying to get out of here quick as I could.
And tenants at St. Catherine Court on South 4th Street pick up their essentials and leave their apartments with no clear idea when they will be back.
This ain't good. My whole body ain't had a chance to rest or stress.
The building is owned and operated by Louisville Metro Housing Authority. They say the evacuation was prompted because of an electrical fire.
Man, it was smoke everywhere.
James Pottinger has lived here for 6 years and came home Saturday to the fire.
Then the lights went off and we couldn't get up on the elevator at all. We had to sleep in the dark last night.
While responding to the fire, additional damage was caused to the electrical system, according to Metro Housing Authority. 14 floors at the complex have no power. The backup generator is what's keeping the lights on in the first floor. It's where people have been served food.
We immediately provided breakfast this morning, lunch.
And where they wait for rides to stay with family. People also have the option to go to a hotel provided by LMHA. Wilson Hoke opted in.
This here is a bad situation.
Hoke has called this complex home for 13 years.
This happened last summer too, the same way it happened now. But this time we're going to have to go to the hotel because it's happened pretty bad.
The 15-story apartment complex was built in 1972 and remodeled in 2003.
Obviously, with any high-rise building that sort of has old infrastructure, you're going to have some structural issues. We often try to assess that and remediate those before more issues arise.
LMHA says the building has had some electrical and plumbing issues in the last year.
But they get it together though in a hurry.
As tenants leave while the issue is fixed,
Move me. I don't want to stay here no more. It's too much happening like this.
some hope to never come back,
I can deal with it. I can deal with it.
while others wait
I can stay another year if it don't get too bad.
for their signal that it's okay to come home. On South 4th Street, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
Residents were asked to pack at least a week's worth of their things. Right now, LMHA doesn't know when people will be able to get back to their apartments or when the electricity will be back on. The Housing Authority is expected to give an update on the timeline of the electric restoration of the building on Monday. In just a couple days, we'll be saying out with the old and in with the new as 2025 comes to a close. Wednesday, the 31st, 4th Street Live will have the city ringing in the new year in style. This fun kicks off at 8 Wednesday night. One ticket gets you access to 5 different venues, and there will also be live music and a champagne toast. Then at midnight, guests will get to shout Happy New Year during a Times Square-style ball drop. For more information and to purchase your tickets, you can go to 4thstreetlive.com. And a cherished nationwide New Year's Eve tradition is getting a new look. The numbers for 2026 are up in Times Square. Each of these digits is 7 feet tall, and the display contains 589 bulbs. We also got a look at the main star of the event, the Constellation Ball. It's the largest New Year's Eve ball yet, with 5,280 Waterford crystals, weighing in at 12,350 pounds.
We watch it every year on TV at home in Boca Raton, Florida, so to be able to see it in person has been pretty incredible.
This is the 9th iteration of the Times Square New Year's Eve ball since it first dropped in 1907. And he's running for re-election and has high hopes to put another huge hotel in the heart of downtown Louisville. Mayor Craig Greenberg sat down with us for a wide-ranging interview to close out our 2025 year. We talked about affordability, housing, and of course, the future of the Humana building. Here's what WHAS 11's Isaiah Kim Martinez reports.
Downtown Louisville needs a new massive hotel right by the International Convention Center.
One more large convention hotel would be incredibly helpful.
That's the belief of Mayor Craig Greenberg, finishing up his 3rd full year in office.
It would help us open up a whole new opportunity of types of meetings and events that we can't currently get. We would help get them here in Louisville, and that's something that we've been working on for several years.
He's not denying the report from Louisville Business First that major real estate developer Poe Companies aims to transform the iconic 27-story Humana building into a 1,000-room hotel. Humana is selling the building, and it's expected to be vacant by the end of the year.
What kind of money would be needed to assist something like
Well,
that?
we're looking at several things for the next chapter of the Humana Tower. We're looking for what incentives the state can provide. Are there any federal incentives based on that project, and of course locally as well?
The mayor sat down with us for an interview to close 2025, a year in which he says homicides are down 21% and non-fatal shootings down 25%. He attributes some of this to what he calls a change in culture at LMPD, led by his hand-picked chief, Paul Humphrey.
When I first became mayor, 8 or 9 people were in a recruiting class. In the last recruiting class, 41 people started. That's great progress. We need more officers on the street.
Greenberg, who's up for re-election in 2026, says he's working to get help from Kentucky lawmakers next year to speed up the process of creating more housing within the city's urban core.
So we're looking at several things. Some are tax incentives, others might be loan funds, and some might just be simply improving the planning and zoning process so it's clearer and easier to build in certain parts of our city.
I asked about the financial crisis at JCPS and what he thinks should be done to fix it.
And my advice is to make the tough decisions now.
In an open records request to JCPS, we discovered 485 of the district's central office employees are making $100,000 or more. We're talking six-figure salaries.
Are one of those decisions downsizing the central office to some degree?
I think that certainly should be at the top of the list for consideration.
And as he seeks a second term as mayor, Greenberg says his administration is putting a focus on bringing down the cost of living. Two examples he mentioned: his request to remove Louisville's reformulated gas requirement and his push to lower utility rates.
When LG&E puts in certain rate requests, we've opposed several of those. We've provided looking for alternative, making it easier for more renewable sources of energy.
His campaign is sure to ramp up next year in what will be the Louisville Metro's first nonpartisan mayoral race. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS11 on your side.
And as we look ahead, the filing deadline for candidates in Kentucky wanting to run for elected office next year is January 9th.